Okay. We're back at it again.
Mr. Tilson, I have a point of order.
Of course. Ms. Sims.
I noticed that when I look at our list of witnesses, that there is one witness, Canadian Immigration Report, that gives me a great deal of concern. I have to say that I didn't know anything about this group before we got the notice for today's meeting, so like any MP in my position, I started to glance over their website. One of the first things I noticed about the website is that there was an article posted that praises Minister Kenny for being the most active and fearless immigration ministers in recent history. So I guess it is no surprise that the government would have put this name forward to appear at our committee on this study. And I want to be clear that I would normally never object to a government witness. After all, differences of opinion are healthy in a democracy. But as I looked through this website, I got more and more concerned. Appalled, I think, would be the correct word. There is a section called Interviews, in which this organization goes to the American Renaissance Conference and interviews some well-known white supremacists. There is a video of Paul Fromm, a notorious Canadian white supremacist with ties to the KKK, that is actually posted on this website. He says, and I'm quoting again, "Certainly the policy in Canada is one of ethnic cleansing and replacement. By 2015, the European founding settler people will be a minority. We will have been ethnically cleansed out of our own country." In another video that is actually posted on the Canadian Immigration Report website, Tito Perdue says that black people would be more comfortable under segregation and calls their poverty self-inflicted. Quoting Tito from the website, he says, "If you look at the civilizations that black people alone have created, they generally turn out to be a kind of hell on earth." Even more shocking words attributed directly to the witnesses before us. There is a post from the Canadian Immigration Report which seems to defend National Socialism, the ideology of the Nazis. Again, I am quoting, "This hate-on for National Socialism is completely misguided. There is nothing inherently wrong with it at all." I could go on and cite passages that seem to justify white nationalism, or point out an entire section of this website that links crimes to specific racial groups, but frankly it is disgusting, and I refuse to give those views any more airtime. Mr. Chair, I am quite shocked that government members have asked this group to testify before us. I would hope that you would agree with me that these views don't have any place at a parliamentary committee in one of the most diverse, open and accepting countries on earth. As I said, I could go on and read out a lot more from the website, but I cannot imagine anybody sitting around this table and going to that website being comfortable having representatives from that group speaking to us today. So I am asking for a ruling about whether that particular witness is going to be proceeding to give testimony here today.
Oh, it's good to be back in the chair. Mr. Dijkstra.
It's good that you're in the chair, Chair. I
haven't ruled yet. You never know. You may not like it.
Well, I would say this much. If what Ms. Sims is saying is that these witnesses actually believe in what she has just said, you're questioning the credibility of an individual. And if you're saying that the quotes that they use for stories that they write or research that they do is fundamental to what they believe, is that what you're suggesting? Because as far as I know, in Canada, you can do interviews with those that you don't agree with, oftentimes to show how good or how stupid those ideas are. But if you're suggesting that the individual who's going to be the witness believes what you just said, you're going to have to provide factual evidence of that to this committee, because you are dragging someone's name through the mud. And to take it to that level, we don't talk. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you better be damn well sure that you've got the right evidence in front of you.
Yes, Mr. Lamoureux.
Mr. Chair, I'm not really 100% confident in terms of what the process is. I know that I would share many of the concerns that members of the community would have in terms of who should or should not be able to appear before committee. I guess I have this sense of trust and faith that when the committee asks for me to provide names of individuals, that I have a sense of the people, and there's a reason or a rationale as to why I've chosen that individual or that organization before coming to committee. Having said that, if individuals did express concerns after I've submitted their names, I would welcome their input and ultimately make a determination whether or not I would like to keep that individual as a witness that I have personally called coming before the committee. If the Conservative Party is confident that this is an individual that has something to contribute towards the committee, I don't have a problem in terms of listening to it. I'm not going to try to censor the government in terms of who it is that they're calling before the committee, as I would hope they wouldn't want to censor me and the individuals that I'm suggesting that would come before this committee, whether it's today or into the future. But the concern that I would have is that the government, now having been made aware of some very serious concerns, that they're confident in terms of this is the person or group that they want to be able to appear before the committee. So I just put it for what it's worth as a flag that's worthy of at least notice, and maybe even taking a couple-minute recess so they can reflect on it if they deem that would be appropriate.
I would draw members' attention to a website, www.CIReport.ca. And this isn't going on to look at second and third hand. What we looked at is what is posted on this website, and on the Canadian Immigration's report's homepage, they link to an upcoming documentary called Multicultural TO that claims Toronto is shifting away from traditional European sources of immigration in favour of the Parkdale Gypsies and the Chinese colony in Markham. They go on to make other comments as well. And in an article posted by the Canadian Immigration Report entitled CIR Response to Milwaukee Sikh Temple Tragedy, White Supremacism, Nazism and Islam are same murderous ideologies, they offer a defense of the Nazi National Socialism ideology. And they go on to say, this hate-on for National Socialism is completely misguided. There is nothing inherently wrong with it at all. And in defense of white nationalism, this is what they write. White nationalists seem to be the most frequently used terminology, which implies a form of ethnic identity, nationalism not unlike Israel, Kosovo, or South Sudan. Never have I read of a white nationalist murdering someone or otherwise engaging in ill behavior outside their home nation. This again is very different from Islamicists, many of whom are see the whole planet as a battleground. Chair, I'm not talking about a link to one article that could be questionable. I will tell you that when I found this last night, I was very upset. Look, we know in Canada we have diverse points of view, and not trying to shut down a freedom of speech, but what I am questioning is parliamentarians having a group, I don't know if it's a person, I'm talking about a group who has this on their website as representatives before us today. That's what I am questioning.
Okay, I think we've had a lot of debate from all sides on this point of order, and I have listened to the arguments on all sides. I'm going to rule that it is not a point of order. My job is to ensure that the rules of the standing orders of this place are maintained, and I don't see how this point of order fits in with that this violates the standing orders of this committee or indeed of the House. So I therefore rule that it is not a point of order. Yes, Mr. Lamoureux.
Chair, at this point in time, I would like to actually move an amendment, or move a motion, I should say,